Alex.
Hi.
Did you find the room okay?
Yeah, it was okay. It wasn't too bad.
Yeah, it's a little bit hard getting up here.
Yeah, a little ways.
Okay, so before we start, I just wanted to talk about the service that we have here at the Bundoora Community Health Centre. So we help basically with young families. We do a whole lot of things like workshops, we have counselling, any other supports that you might need, and if you feel like you need any other services outside this, we can rearrange that for you as well. Before we discuss anything today, I just wanted to touch on confidentiality. So whatever you say here is completely confidential, so I won't tell anyone outside of this room. That is unless you intend to significantly harm yourself or someone else. Does that seem okay with you?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So perhaps we could start with maybe why you've come to see me today.
So I'm a single parent. I have a 2-year-old son, Toby, and I'm just a bit scared that he's not kind of reaching the milestones he should be. It's just a bit difficult to kind of support him because I work full-time in IT and just don't have enough time to help support him get to where he needs to be.
Yeah, so it sounds like you've got a little bit on your plate with your job. Can you give me a few examples about Toby's development, what you've been noticing?
Well, his speech is a little bit delayed, I would say. Like, we go to the preschool and all the other kids seem to be kind of talking a bit more than he is. He can't really put together full sentences as much, and he doesn't really repeat things back to me at all. He's also just a bit kind of reserved, which I'm not too worried about, but he doesn't really like playing with other kids. He kind of just plays by himself.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's mostly kind of like speech and socialising I'm a bit concerned about.
Yeah, so it sounds like you're more concerned about his socialising and cognitive development. Yeah. So before we get into that, I just wanted to know a little bit more about you and your job. Did you want to tell me a little bit more about that?
I work for a corporate company in IT, so it's can be pretty long hours. Even might get home, they might call me up saying they need me to do something at home, so it's just a bit unpredictable. Yeah, and it's a bit full on. I mean, I love it. It's something that I've still studying to kind of do.
Okay. Yeah.
And I want to eventually go back and finish my degree, but it's just don't know how or when I'll be able to do that.
Yeah. So it sounds like they're calling you at home. Are you finding you're doing a lot of work at home as well?
Yeah, definitely. And it's hard if I'm trying to put Toby to bed or make me dinner or something, and I've got to kind of drop everything to fix something.
Yeah, so it sounds like it's impacting your home life a little bit, Toby, as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you want to tell me a little bit more about how it's impacting? You just mentioned that, getting dinner ready. Is there anything else?
Yeah, it's just basic things like that, and just like cleaning or like bath time or getting him to bed. It's a bit of a struggle. Doing it all on my own, and it's just sometimes I feel like I'm not there enough to play with him how he needs, or maybe that's why he's not developing enough, because he's not getting that support from me. I don't know.
Yeah. So you mentioned you're doing it by yourself. You don't have a partner in the picture?
No, we separated. He does see Toby sometimes, so he does work on like night shifts, so it's a bit all over the place, so it's a bit hard to know when he's going to be there or not.
Yeah. So going back about Toby's development, how is that impacting you? I understand you're a bit worried about him. How else is that impacting you and your day-to-day life?
I think just being worried and stressed, and even just it's hard going out like to the preschool and just knowing that he's not kind of where everyone else is, or when we have family things on, everyone's always kind of asking or saying like, oh, he's not really talking as much as so and so, and it's not like necessarily embarrassing, but it's a bit hard to take, and because it feels like it's just a comment on my parenting, and it's my fault.
So how do you take those comments?
Pretty hard. Like, I try to keep it all together around people, but I think I tend to break down at home. I just feel like I'm not doing good enough for him.
So you mentioned like you come home, you break down a little bit. Did you want to tell me a little bit more about that? I just want to gauge and how this is really impacting you.
I just I think I just need time to myself just to kind of be and just to like cry and let it all out.
Yeah.
Away from anyone. I don't want Toby to see me like that as well, so it's a bit hard, and then I just need to try and gather myself even if I'm not feeling up to it and be there for him.
Yeah, I can understand it's really hard, especially doing it by yourself and other parents, you know, commenting on what they think is your parenting skills, but it may well not be that at all. You know, it's completely normal for kids to delay in their development a little bit. So moving on from this a little bit, if we were discussing Toby, what would your ideal situation be with him and his development and his sort of situation at the moment?
I just want him to kind of be able to like want to play with friends, I guess, and want to be social and play with other kids when we go out, or even just to hear him talk more would be really nice, because it does get a bit lonely, just us two. And yeah, I'm kind of scared that what if he kind of doesn't get to where he should be. And
does he have any other outside like socialization other than like the play school?
Yeah, well, my sister has kids as well, so we spend a lot of time together, but her kids are a little bit older. They're like 4 and 6, so obviously they're a bit older, so the development's further along, but it just sticks out even more to me then, because I remember how they used to be at that age.
And also, if we were to talk about your ideal situation, what's going on in your life, what are some changes that you think might help for you?
I guess with work cutting down, or just because I do work from home, I'd prefer to have something that's just at work, that I don't need to come home and worry about that too, or even just cutting down hours so that I can put more to Toby and just be there for him more.
Yeah, so at the moment it sounds like there's Toby, and we can discuss some sort of supports for him to help him reach those milestones, but for you as well, we can discuss later on, or even maybe next week, about how you might approach maybe cutting down hours if that's what you want, or finding some time for yourself.
Does that sound good? Yeah, sounds good.
So even moving on from that as well, what other supports are in your life at the moment? Maybe family or friends?
Yeah, like I said, my sister's a good support, because she's had kids, she's been through it all. So she's really good to talk to. I think I'm a bit hesitant about kind of talking to her about my concerns, because I don't want her to judge me or anything, because she's such close friends. I am scared of that. But then I also do have my parents, but because they are getting a bit older, it's kind of feel selfish sometimes asking them to come out to help or whatever.
So do you see this family quite often? Do you see your sister a lot? Sorry.
Yeah, we see a couple of times a week. We'll might meet up so the kids can play, or so we can like have a chat or whatever. And then I see my parents maybe every couple of weeks or something.
And what about outside your family circle? Is there any friends or colleagues or anyone else that?
Well, most of my friends don't have kids yet, so it's a bit hard to kind of for them to understand and to kind of confide in them. Because they don't really have that judgment, and they don't really know what's normal or not. But at work there is a few like mums there as well that are single parents, so it's good to kind of see how they're going, and that what I'm doing is kind of normal.
Have you what about strengths as a parent? What do you see that you do really well with Toby?
I think that I'm good at trying to motivate him to kind of do things. Like we don't just stay home or whatever. Like we do go to the play school, we go out to see other kids, go to the park a lot. We'll sit down and read or try to colour in on things like that. So I think we're good at doing things together. It's just finding the time to do that.
It sounds like you have quite a good relationship with Toby.
Yeah, definitely. He's great.
What about hobbies or anything for yourself? How do you take the time out for you?
I don't really at the moment. I think I'm just focusing too much on work and Toby, that it's kind of burning me out a little bit. I used to really like exercise and going for runs and things like that, but I just don't have anyone to watch Toby, or it's hard to bring him with me, and it's hard to actually find the time for myself.
Yeah. Okay. So, sorry, I just sort of like, what time is it? Okay. So you've talked about your ideal situation with Toby. If we were looking at moving forward a little bit, what do you think might help Toby a little bit?
I think maybe changing like the place we're at. I don't know if they're kind of it's what I expected. I don't know if that's kind of enough for him. It might be too much in play and not enough on like educative play and stuff like that. I think even just cutting back hours at work so I can do stuff at home with him more. I think try and help with his speech.
Yeah. So you mentioned maybe changing playgroup, or did you want to tell me a little bit more about that? What's inclining you to want to change?
I think the mums are just a bit standoffish there, and a lot of the kids already knew each other when we went in, so they already kind of had their own groups.
Yeah.
And I don't know if like they don't really do like reading time and like things like that I remember from like with my nieces and nephews when they went to the playgroup. I remember they were doing a lot of that and that was really great, but they don't seem to really focus on that there.
Okay. Yeah, well, we can look at changing playgroups as well. If we were to focus on yourself, what do you think would be beneficial for you, changing maybe your routine, or what do you think you should?
I think I could probably talk to my boss at work about the hours and what's expected of me and everything. And even like I know my parents really love Toby, and I think I could probably see if they could help out more, or even if it's just for an hour or two that I could have time to myself or something like that.
Yeah, they're easily quite good strategies or even supports that you can help with Toby. But other services that we also provide is we do actually do some workshops if you're interested in doing some of those. But we can also focus on maybe seeing a GP as well. Have you seen anyone else about Toby's development? Have you seen any other outside resources other than your support at the moment?
Not really. Like when Toby's gone for his checkups and like vaccinations and all that, they kind of ask how he's doing, and I kind of mention it, but not really. So I don't think they really know the full extent of what's going on. So I haven't really reached out to them properly, I don't think.
Okay. Sorry, I'm really struggling.
You've done 13 and a half minutes, so you can move to wrapping it up if you like.
Okay, so perhaps we can make an appointment next week. We can discuss a little bit then about Toby's development, but maybe between here and next week, you can maybe take the time for yourself, maybe think about changing groups if that's something that you want to do. And next week maybe we can touch base on how you're going with that, if that's okay with you. Alright, thank you.
You did it! You've done more than enough, Jess.
You did really well.
14 minutes, well done.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Do you want a drink?
Yeah, I do. I should have put a drink bottle.
You did fine. We could all see that it was killing you, but you did absolutely fine. Have a drink. Do you want to? Do you need to go and get one?
I don't have a drink bottle.
Do you want to run and grab? I don't know if there's a fountain out there. Is there?
No, it's alright.
All right. Will you talk about how you feel about it?
I think at the start I really knew how it sort of impacted you. Like I felt like I knew how you felt and how it was impacting on you. But I think I struggled a little bit maybe with the strengths and the external resources a little bit.
Yeah, I don't think you struggled. Like I could see that you were like getting like flustered and stuff, but like you were doing really well, and like I didn't think you were doing anything about it. Yeah.
Yeah, she
I
didn't
thought
say
you did
anything
really
weird or.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you
Yeah.
I
did
think
so well.
you were struggling to like link them together.
Yeah.
Like you were doing them really well, but just like going from one to the other, and then what does that mean for the next one?
Yeah,
If that makes
yeah.
sense. But you were doing them really well.
Yeah.
Like you were
That's why I kept
actually
looking at you like, no, you can do this. You do it well.
Yeah.
That's a really good way of framing it, Nick. Like you have all the skills,
Yeah.
and the three of us have seen you demonstrate those skills. It's just you're in the stage and under the spotlight, which I don't. You're not like a look at me
Yeah.
kind of person, are you? I don't think any of us are particularly those kind of people. I don't know how to articulate this, but very early on I was like, I love how your ego does not come into this space at all.
Your presence is so calm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just relaxed and
Yeah.
composed.
Yeah, there's something.
I felt more relaxed. I was like, oh, jeez. It's very calming, her voice.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's your voice. Yeah.
Well, but then I wanted you to project your voice a little bit more, but then I'm like, oh, she's just nervous.
Yeah.
Because you do speak when we're having discussion in class.
Yeah.
I always hear you very clearly.
Yeah.
You're a really good communicator. You're just really nervous.
Yeah, I just, yeah.
Was your tummy kind of all just...
Yeah, it's just all this morning.
Please, you've got nothing to worry about with how you went. It just was a bit clunky, and that's I think really understandable for this scenario. So your
I know, like
situation.
it's kind of hard. I feel like it needed something a little bit more deeper because it's
Yeah,
hard.
I was running out of things to say. I was like, I don't know what
like
to
it was
do.
all happy. And I'm like, there's nothing to sort of
I
work
don't know what
on.
to do. Yeah.
Yeah.
You just got your shit together too much, Alex, haven't you?
Yeah. It's the same when I mean,
And then
I
Nick's
was
gonna come
thinking-
into me and be like, I'm doing drugs.
No.
What would you like to say as the client?
You know, I felt really good, and you're really, like, you let me speak, and you didn't, I think the questions you asked were really well framed and everything. Yeah, like we said, you were really calming and, like, relaxed. Yeah, you know, you asked really good questions.
Yeah.
That were kind of really open and just brought out a lot of information, I think.
And you're really self-aware of, I think, what is coming out of your mouth. And at one point I think you were going to ask a "Have you tried?" question,
I
and then you were
was.
like,
No, yeah, I know I was. I didn't mean to ask it that way, but it was going to come out that way.
yeah.
And then I was like, no, sorry, I'm not
Yeah.
asking that.
And then you asked like a golden
Yeah,
question. Do you remember what it was?
I sort of remember that, and I'm like, oh, that was really smooth. I don't remember what I actually asked though.
Yeah, you forget what you say.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
said
But it felt good. I felt like
you said, what do you do well with, Toby? Tell me
Yeah.
about your strengths as a mum.
Yeah.
So, like, what an amazing turnaround, because that's the natural, like, well, have you tried this?
Yeah.
And that no one wants to hear
Yeah.
that. But also you did explore later, you did ask that question, but in a really sensitive and useful way, which was, what have you done so far around Toby's presentation, or to that effect, like,
Yeah,
have you
that
already
felt
consulted?
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I
Oh,
was.
with the GP, yeah.
Yeah, because it was sort of like your interpretation, I guess, and I
Yeah.
wanted to explore.
And you don't want to
What-
be like, you should do this.
Because I don't, like
Yeah.
you said, other people have told you, you know, that other resources other than like your family support.
Yeah, because that's a normal assessment. Like, have you already had your 6 sessions with your OT
Yeah.
from your mental health
And
care
it's so
plan?
hard not to say,
'Cause-
have you tried doing this?
Because I saw you like
Yes.
go for that. You're
Yeah.
like that's it, and you're like, oh, geez, I can't say it like
I
that.
didn't want to say it like that, but yeah.
Yeah, but you also, you need a clear picture of what Alex has done, what she has tried, so that you're
Yeah.
not
Rambling on about the same
waste.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she can't be having her time wasted.
Yeah.
So busy.
So busy. Very important. So be proud of what you've done,
Thank you.
and you've bloody done it. Go on. Do you want to go and find a